You'll notice in Charlie Jade that our protagonist, our title, our hero, our Charlie Jade, doesn't always win the day. He has as many problems as you do, as I do.
Excuse me, sir. Can I speak to you?
Nope. He's not your typical hero. That he's more than reluctant. He's in some ways an anti-hero. Charlie sort of carved a life for himself in the Alphaverse that uses his particular skill set. He's a private detective, and his specialty is tracking down missing people.
So what are you going to tell him?
The truth.
Which is what? How their kid isn't missing anymore?
Missing people end up dead, 2 cars, everybody knows that.
He's created an ideal world for himself within the system of VexCorp, within the system of the Society of the Alphaverse. And a big part of that puzzle has been this woman, Jasmine, who he's in love with and lives with, and loses by the end of the 2nd episode.
Then eat.
In the Betaverse, he discovers and meets another woman who is basically a doppelganger of the love of his life, and is drawn to her.
Jasmine, it's me, it's Charlie.
Who?
Is there a problem? Jasmine, it's me, Charlie.
I've never seen you before.
When Charlie is so lost in that universe he doesn't know anything about, he tries to find her place. He finally sees that girl who he thinks is Jasmine. He goes, oh, you know, it's like home to him. And she does not recognize him. She's never seen him before. Yet there is a little mutual attraction. And this is very interesting to see how Charlie is going to be attracted to her, cannot tell her about his world. And Paula is intrigued by him, but she doesn't know anything.
When are you going to really talk to me?
I'm talking right now.
You're talking, but you're not saying anything.
Charlie deals with almost psychotic hallucinations. He sees things that aren't there. He has really specific, really obscure hallucinations that are sort of a constant daily battle for him. Part of the journey that he takes is determining what those hallucinations actually are.
Here, take this. Take this.
Carl and Charlie are in many ways polar opposites. Carl's interest is in the bigger picture and trying to solve the problems of the world.
You ever wonder who's really running the show, though? No, seriously. The profit-driven multinationals that are devouring our resources with total disregard for damage caused.
Yeah, that's who I blame.
Yep, and you'd be right.
Carl is the resident skeptic. He believes that wholeheartedly that the government is not being straight with the people, and he has dedicated himself to uncovering the cover-ups.
You're from a parallel universe.
What?
No, don't you see? Somewhere just like this, only different.
He's a passionate man, very bookish, but very dedicated about what he believes.
What kind of a sick, twisted place do you come from? And this is the place that you're so eager to get back to?
At the end of the day, Carl is there to teach Charlie. I think they teach each other. They both have a lot to learn from each other.
The universes. They collapse if that link goes up again.
And that's way over your head, isn't it? What's that got to do with the little bondage fantasy you guys got going here anyways?
Cape City. You can take me there. You can take me there.
Sure. I'm 01. Fly me.
Charlie and 01 are not brothers. I think they're brothers in a sense. I mean, it's the old, I don't know if I'm allowed to be biblical, but it seems like a Cain and Abel thing. One's kind of inherited everything, and the other one has spent his life sort of at the mercy of that. One's trying to destroy the world. Charlie's trying to save it.
I will take over the show in Beta and Gamma, but I want an immediate promotion to Executive Vice President, along with the salary adjustment, bonuses, and stock options.
He's heir to the largest and strongest corporation in the history. They run all the universes, and he's untouchable. He's got like the Midas touch, and yet raised by a father who he doesn't know, who pretty much, there's a huge conflict there, a mother that he never had. I mean, he's deeply, deeply, deeply wounded. The way he's learned to interact with the world is so upside down. He's a guy who's looking for a boundary, for an edge, and nobody's going to give it to him. Basically, Owen lives like an animal. It's all about appetite, from eating, screwing, humiliating. That's what this guy's all about. He's like a caveman. It's pretty much, that's the way he's learned to interact on a very body level. He's the ultimate darkness and the ultimate sort of really kind of brash and just out there kind of guy. Almost disgusting, grotesque, yet oddly compelling.
It's your ass, Julie. Think about your ass. I do.
The character that I play is a very manipulative man. But what is happening is that he's slowly being manipulated by other people within the story. His situation is incredibly tenuous, and he's aware of it, but he doesn't know which way to go. So I mean, I don't know from episode to episode where I'm going, and that also makes it exciting.
This is the new face of terror.
I play a woman who's a terrorist on the run, kills hundreds of people, and then has to come to terms with that and has to win the audience over after having done that. So you really get into the heart and mind of someone who is able to do such a terrible thing but does it for a noble cause. She's a fighter, and she's, like all of us, has a strength in her that she didn't know she had and would never have known it if she had not had to go through these things.